Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contained confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was permitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
But first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence of a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked.
amount.
Nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top
It wasn't
secret.
the best choice.
36 of those chains
I said it
secret.
was a mistake.
And 8 contained confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains were
It
top
was not a
secret.
good choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contained confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
We got Chris Stockton. It's been a while. He is back. EO2 Dave. What's going on, you guys? All right, just doing a little check-in here, playing some favorites. Glad everyone who's here is Deep State don't want no part. That's right. I got your back, brother. There it is. Deep State don't want no part of me. That's right. All right, you guys sit back and enjoy this one. It's a classic. I'm going through just some old folders on the external hard drive, so bear with me.
I remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time and the last time we ever met. But I know the reason why you keep your silence up. No, you don't fool me, 'cause the hurt doesn't show, pain still grows. So stranger to you and me, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, I feel it coming, yeah. Feel it coming, yeah. Been waiting for this moment all my life. Waiting for this moment all my life, my life.
This is a very different administration than the United States has had in the past. Do not underestimate us and do not try us. America does not seek conflict or confrontation. But we will never run from it. Anyone who doubts the strength or determination of the United States should look to our past, and you will doubt it no longer.
We dominate the sky. We dominate the sea. We dominate the land and space. America's warriors are prepared to defend our nation using the full range of our unmatched capabilities. No one, no dictator, no regime, and no nation should underestimate ever American resolve. Going to appoint Mad Dog Mattis as our Secretary of Defense.
We're gonna win. We're gonna keep winning. We're gonna win at military. We're gonna win at trade. We're gonna win at everything we do. We're gonna win, win, win. You people, you're gonna be sick and tired of winning. You're gonna say, Mr. President, please, we can't take it anymore. You're winning too much. And I'm gonna say, I don't give a damn. We're gonna keep winning 100%. America first.
It's good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still. When he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on.
There are powerful forces in Washington trying to sabotage our movement. These are bad people. These are very, very bad and evil people. They know who they are. These are the people who made their money, their names, their careers, their power off the corrupt and broken system, and they liked it the other way. So they will do anything at any time, and they'll never stop. But you know what? We're stopping them. You're seeing that right now. You're seeing that right now. We're stopping them. It's corrupt, it's rigged, and we're stopping them. They will lie and leak and smear because they don't want to accept the results of an election where we won by a landslide.
For too long, politicians have tried, oh, have they tried, to centralize authority among the hands of a small few in our nation's capital. I see them all the time. Bureaucrats think they can run over your lives, overrule your values, meddle in your faith, and tell you how to live, what to say, and where to pray. But we know that parents, not bureaucrats, know best how to raise their children and create a thriving society. And we know that families and churches, not government officials, know best how to create a strong and loving community. And above all else, we know this. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Forces in Washington trying to sabotage our movement. These are bad people. These are very, very bad and evil people. They know who they are. Today's Democrat Party is held hostage by haters, absolute haters, left-wing haters, angry mobs, deep state radicals, and their fake news allies. Those people are the best. They're the best allies. I mean, you look at the Washington Post or the New York Times, I can never get a good story. I mean, you look at this horrible thing that took place today, it's really, is it subversion? Is it treason? It's a horrible thing. Even, you know the good thing about that? Even liberals that hate me say, that's terrible what they did. These are the people who made their money, their names, their careers, their power off the corrupt and broken system, and they liked it the other way. So they will do anything at any time, and they'll never stop. You know what? We'll stop. You're seeing that right now. You're seeing that right now. We're stopping. It's corrupt, it's rigged, and we're stopping.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've been following my channel, I've been loading up a lot of just sort of Bill Cooper stuff digging back through years. I've listened to. Really interesting.
70 in 1973, I served on the intelligence briefing team of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, who at that time was Admiral Bernard Cleary. I was attached to the Office of Naval Intelligence. I had a top secret, Q, sensitive compartmentalized information, security clearance, States Pacific Fleet, who at that time was Admiral Bernard Cleary. I was attached to the Office of Naval Intelligence. I had a top secret, Q, sensitive compartmentalized information, security clearance, and actually had access and the need to know almost everything that the Admiral himself, the members of his staff, and many high-level government officials. 70 in 1973, I served on the intelligence briefing team of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, who at that time was Admiral Bernard Cleary. I was attached to the Office of Naval Intelligence. I had a top secret, Q, sensitive compartmentalized information, security clearance, and actually had access and the need to know almost everything that the Admiral himself, the members of his staff, and many high-level government officials.
So that's Bill Cooper saying he had Q clearance. I haven't really seen this. I haven't really seen anybody bring this up anywhere. And I just happened to be listening.
This is a very different administration than the United States has had in the past. Do not underestimate us, and do not try us. America does not seek conflict or confrontation, but we will never run from it. Anyone who doubts the strength or determination of the United States should look to our past, and you will doubt it no longer.
We dominate the sky. We dominate the sea. We dominate the land and space.
America's warriors are prepared to defend our nation using the full range of our unmatched capabilities. No one, no dictator, no regime, and no nation should underestimate every American resolve.
We're gonna win. We're gonna keep winning. We're gonna win at military. We're gonna win at trade. We're gonna win at everything we do. We're gonna win, win, win. You people, you're gonna be sick and tired of winning. You're gonna say, Mr. President, please, we can't take it anymore. You're winning too much. And I'm gonna say, I don't give a damn. We're gonna keep winning 100%. America first.
That someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
article here today to get into, folks. And again, give a big shout out to Greg Rubini. If you have not yet, please get over to the Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, create one. You want to follow along here. You're going to get good information in a timely manner. And this story today wouldn't be possible without all his hard work. All right, let's get into it here. A British submarine is cruising off the East Coast, deep underwater, 200 miles from Washington, D.C., as part of a NATO scheduled drill in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, it should be noted this is an Astute class, which is the latest class of nuclear-powered fleet submarines, SSNs, in service with the Royal Navy. The class sets a new standard for the Royal Navy in terms of weapon load, communication facilities, and stealth. Now, Michael Still is the captain of this British submarine. Michael Still is a friend of former GCHQ director Robert Hannigan and an acquaintance of former CIA director, no other than John Brennan. Now, the former GCHQ director Robert Hannigan had arranged encrypted comms between Brennan and the British captain under Brennan's request. Now, Benjamin Key, a vice admiral of the British Royal Navy, had previously instructed Michael Still, the submarine captain, to follow Brennan's orders. Michael Still had been briefed by Benjamin Key and Robert Hannigan on the plan. Operation FFP SLIP. This Operation FFP slip is classified. On the early morning hours of January 21st, 2019, John Brennan gives Michael Still, the submarine captain, the approach and up order. British submarine captain executes, activates stealth mode, and cruises towards the East Coast. The British submarine is now closer, about 100 miles away from Washington, D.C. It rises from the deep to just about 50 feet below sea level. The British submarine captain sends Brennan the encrypted "all clear, we're ready" signal. 21 January 2019, 0854 Eastern Standard Time. John Brennan sends back to Still the go order. The captain acknowledges, sends the order down to the weapons crew. The crew execute.
Seven, 6.
The cruise missile is launched from the British Royal Navy submarine. It is a Russian-made cruise missile, which had been captured by the British Navy in 2014 and kept in custody in a secret location in Scotland by a British Navy officer, a John Brennan friend.
3.
In between protection of national security, obviously the government's need to obtain intelligence data.
John Brennan watches the action live streamed by the NRO satellite stationed above Washington, D.C., equipped with high-resolution surveillance equipment. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi is in Brussels, Belgium, in a conference room at the European NATO headquarters. At the White House, President Trump and Vice President Pence are having a meeting with NSA Director Nakasone. With the cruise missile flying fast at 530 miles per hour at 300 feet below radar detection level. At 9:02 a.m. Eastern, the cruise missile approaches Washington, D.C. The Washington Memorial Obelisk is in sight.
2, 1.
White House is destroyed, in ruins. President Trump and Vice President Pence were killed. There is shock, horror, and confusion all throughout the nation. Antifa members rejoice and celebrate in the streets of San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Washington, and they do it in their normal way of trashing everything. Nancy Pelosi is at the NATO headquarters in Brussels, together with her deep state friends, among them former GCHQ Director Robert Hannigan and Vice Admiral Benjamin Key of the British Royal Navy. She rejoices at the success of the operation and sends a big thank you to John Brennan. Deep state puppet President Macron of France sends hashtag President Pelosi his congratulations. So does Angela Merkel of Germany, and Boris Johnson of the UK, and George Soros, and boozy Jean-Claude Juncker of the European Union. Folks, Nancy Pelosi is now the first female president of the United States. Luckily, this never happened. The Pelosi-Brennan deep state plan was averted and neutralized before it ever even began, in the days before November 17th of 2018. Thanks to our guys at the NSA and our patriots at military intelligence, Trump, we see all, we hear all. A big shout out to the U.S. Marine Corps, hashtag USMC, special thanks. Sergeant Major Mike at 49's Patriot USMC, Semper Fi. Because if this would have happened, it would have been a horror and a nightmare. The deep state plan was a JFK assassination reload 2.0. with much more sophisticated and powerful weapons. A shock and awe. An event September 11th style.
Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
I was on my way home and I heard it on the car radio.
So where is Nancy, hashtag Pelosi, now? And then you ask, where's John Brennan now? Where are all the other conspirators? The deep state wanted to assassinate both Trump and Pence at the same time in the same location. They wanted and agreed to have Nancy Pelosi as the president of the USA. And just ask yourself, how could the deep state accomplish that? This is just a short novel, fiction, pure speculation, nothing more. But what if there is some kernel of truth here? And a big shout out to U.S. Navy engineer Gary Holland, who has been a special consultant in writing of this thread. Gary is a nuclear engineer who worked on U.S. submarines. I relied on his expertise in the subject of submarines and cruise missiles. Thank you wholeheartedly, fellow patriot. At G Holland 04. And go Navy. Hoorah. It's also worth noting that Donna Brazil, interestingly enough, on the 18th of January, put hashtag Madame Speaker today, hashtag President Pelosi shortly thereafter, hashtag MLK weekend is underway. And then on top of that, she left another tweet here, leave something behind, hashtag legacy, hashtag MLK day, a 5 and a 10. Now Lincoln, we know, was assassinated. Hamilton dueled in what was a long culmination of a long and bitter rivalry between the two men. Vice President Burr shot Hamilton, delivering what proved to be a fatal wound. That's how it went down in the history books anyway. And what is this about? A contract is a contract. In mafia lingo, a contract is when someone hires a killer to murder someone else. What is Trump hinting at here? Nancy, I am still thinking about the State of the Union speech. There are so many options, including doing it as per your written offer made during the shutdown. Security is no problem. And my written acceptance, while a contract is a contract, I'll get back to you soon. Thanks for joining in. I'm Michael from the Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. Where we go one, we go all.
was so stranger to you and me. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, feel it coming, feel it coming, waiting for this moment all my life. Waiting for this moment all my life, my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Collins. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, we're going to do a couple more here. Some of these are just getting replayed because they're classics and you cannot shake a stick at these.
was lost, the treaty signed. I was not caught, I crossed the line. I was not caught, though many tried. I live among you, well disguised. I had to leave my life behind. I dug some graves you'll never find. The story's told with facts and lies. I had a name, but never mind. Never mind, never mind. I had to leave my life behind. The story's told with facts and lies. You own the world, so never mind. My woman's here, my children too. Their graves are safe from ghosts like you. In places deep, with roots entwined, I live the life I left behind. The war was lost, the treaty signed. I was not caught, I crossed the line. I was not caught, though many tried. I live among you, well disguised.
Fucked up. So say your words right now.
Bahrain, August 21st, 2000.
21st, 2000. Let's cope right before getting drunk. Wait.
Huh? Yep. Can't see you, dude.
Hey, I'm reading the rules and see you can't wear a life jacket on these. You don't get to see.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.
You know what letter that is, Grover? You know what letter that is, Grover? You know what letter that is, Grover? You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.
All right, thanks for joining in. We're going to shut this one down. Things going on. Look for some more live feeds later today, this evening, tomorrow, throughout the weekend on the Patriot Tech. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you all later on.